Hey everybody, Joe Joseph here for thedailySheeple.com, and this is your news shot. So, you know how I've been saying that what goes around comes around, especially with all this soft censorship, the social engineering that's going on the part of Google and Facebook and Twitter and your social media controlled, CIA-controlled sites. Well, the Washington Post is reporting that Google's coming after critics in academia and journalism, and it's time to stop them. So they're already pissing off independent media, of course, which is not going to end well for Google. And now they're starting to piss off academia and also journalism as well, your mainstream media, which is kind of weird because you'd think that they wouldn't be pissed off. But hey, this is about 10 years ago, Tim Wu, the Columbia law professor who coined the term network neutrality, made this precedent comment. Says, to love Google, you have to be a little bit of a monarchist. You have to have faith in the way people traditionally felt about the king. Wu was right, and now Google has established a pattern of lobbying and threatening to acquire power. It's reached a dangerous point, common to many monarchs, the moment where it no longer wants to allow dissent. This summer, a small team of well-respected researchers and journalists, the Open Markets team, and the New America think tank, dared to speak up about Google in the mildest way. When the European Union fined Google for preferring its own subsidiary companies to its rival companies in search results, it was natural that Open Markets, a group dedicated to studying and exposing distortions in the market, including monopoly power, would comment. The researchers put out a 150-word statement praising the EU's actions, quote, by requiring that Google give equal treatment to rival services instead of privileging its own, the EU is protecting the free flow of information and commerce upon which all democracies depend. And they called upon the FTC and the Department of Justice and state attorney generals to apply the traditional American monopoly law, which would require separate ownership of products and services and the networks that sell those products and services. Now, Google's been funding New America for years at high levels. But within 24 hours of the statement going live, Google representatives called New America's leadership expressing their displeasure. 2 planned hires for the Open Markets team suddenly were canceled. And 3 days later, the head of the Open Markets team, the accomplished journalist Barry C. Lynn, received a letter from the head of the think tank demanding that the entire team leave New America. The reason? Why, the statement praising the EU's decision against Google. And, what did New America President Anne-Marie Slaughter say? Why, you're leaving because you're imperiling the institution. Why? Because they depend on Google. A lot of companies and a lot of media organizations, they depend on Google. And Google's not the only one that plays this card. This isn't a new card. This is as old as monopolies have been around. This has been going on for ages, you know? If you can control, hey, it's kind of like the way the Rothschild family kind of started off. You know, Amschel Rothschild. He says, you know, if I control the money, I care not about the laws. Well, that's the way this is. They control so much market share. They control so much of your communication and your social media experience on the computer that they're starting to take that stance. I don't care what the people think. The hell do that? What matters is what I think. That's what's happening right now. You know, that it's good to be king type of attitude. Well, it's time for a little humbling. Time for a little humbling. This is when Google was founded in 1998. It famously committed itself to the motto, don't be evil. Yeah, it appears that Google might have lost sight of what evil means. And, you know, unfortunately, if you look through history, most monarchs, they do the same. You know, once you reach that pinnacle of power, you start to believe that any threats to your authority are themselves villainous and that you are entitled to shut down dissent. And as Lord Acton famously said, quote, despotic power is always accompanied by corruption of morality. Those with too much power can't help but be evil. Google, the company dedicated to free expression, has chosen to silence the opposition, apparently without any sense of irony. Google did always operate this way in relation to think tanks, even those that funded. The head of Google's parent company, Eric Schmidt, served on the board of New America starting in 2000 and was its chairman from 2008 through May of 2016. The Open Markets Institute has long studied excessive corporate power and argued for the importance of anti-monopoly laws. And they were not previously punished for their work up until, of course, it affected Google itself. And then, of course, well, you can't do that. Google this year is on track to spend more money than any company in America on lobbying. In 2015, it was the third biggest corporate spender, paying more than ExxonMobil, Lockheed Martin, and the Koch brothers on lobbying. And much of what it's spending is money on had nothing to do with technical details regarding its search engine and everything. It had everything to do with using its power in the search engine to shut out competitors and build up power over others. That's what they do. You know, look at Amazon. Amazon's following the same blueprint, only they're just letting their tentacles reach out everywhere. And now they basically have limitless pockets with which to do it. And with their acquisition of Whole Foods, I mean, look at what that does and how that opens up possibilities. And then, you know, it's nothing for them to sink $10 billion on a startup in the medical industry and start taking over the insurance industry. It's coming. You know, it's almost like Demolition Man, where, you know, Sylvester Stallone, he's at the restaurant and they're talking about the restaurant wars, and Taco Bell was the only company left standing. So now any restaurant you go to is a Taco Bell. You know, and they go in and it's a 5-star Taco Bell. But, I mean, that's what happened. And that's what's happening here. You're going to have no other place to go to if things remain status quo. It's going to be Amazon, Amazon, Amazon. That's what you're going to have. And then Google, you might be able to coexist with Amazon, but Amazon's really got their tentacles in just about everything. But this is how this all starts. So now Google has gotten so powerful and so arrogant that they're even pissing off the mainstream media, which boggles my mind, because I thought for sure that Google really kind of, kind of had a hand-in-hand friendship. Apparently not so. So, you know what it is? It's whatever's in Google's interest is all they're interested in. That's really what it boils down to it. And if the mainstream media is not going to play ball with them 24/7, 365, well, I guess you're on the shit list too. So join the club, mainstream media, and pull your head out your ass. And maybe if we all band together, we might be able to get something accomplished against this Leviathan. I'm Joe Joseph. This was thedailysheeple.com's News Shot. Feel free to comment below and visit our website at thedailysheeple.com. Have a great day.